Hey y'all, so I'm here. Hold on, how much time I got left? Okay, I'm here. So I just came really fast because this morning I woke up and I saw that there was a shooting at Kennywood Park. Now the reason that I'm here today is because Kennywood is in West Mifflin, PA, which is not that far from Pittsburgh, and I live in Pittsburgh. Now, I wanted to come on here and give, I don't want to say some context because obviously I was not there, but I wanted to talk about some of the things just surrounding Kennywood and how, in my opinion, this was unfortunately destined to happen sooner rather than later, in my opinion. I also wanted to come on here and address some of the stuff that I've seen on Twitter from the very, very racist white people that live in the city of Pittsburgh, West Mifflin, and such and such. So, before I get on to my own personal things, let's just talk about really fast what happened with the actual shooting, right? So today is Sunday, September 25th, okay? And yesterday was the first day of Fright Night, okay? I know they call it the Fall Fest, but out here we call it Fright Night. That's what it is. It's called Fright Night. Fright Night is what most amusement parks happen, which is around October. You know, you have this Halloween stuff. It's pretty much how I go. It's the park, but during Halloween. So, let's read the story, shall we? We're going to go to WPXI 11 News. That is NBC, technically, for y'all if y'all don't know out there. So, according to the Allegheny County Police, 3 people were shot inside the park in the Lost Kennywood section by the Music Express ride. This happened around 10:49 p.m. One 15-year-old boy was shot in the leg in a stable condition. A 39-year-old man was also shot in the leg and treated and released. And a 15-year-old boy was grazed by the bullet, later taken to the hospital, but he was listed in stable condition. Witnesses told the police 2 groups of juveniles were involved in an altercation, and that was when shots were fired. 1 handgun was recovered on Kennywood property. The other injuries were just people pretty much being trampled. And they don't really have a suspect, just a young black man with a mask on. And it's been labeled as a mass casualty. Wait, mass casualty? No. Yeah, mass casualty incident, although nobody died. And yeah, that was kind of just that on that. All right, so let's talk about a few things when it comes to Kennywood. So I actually had written down a few things I wanted to talk about. So let's talk about the proximity of Kennywood to Pittsburgh and the typical makeup of the crowd that's within that park. Okay, so, all right. And the reason why I'm talking about this is because I went to and I graduated from West Mifflin High School. West Mifflin High School is pretty much, I think, like, what is it? Like 2 blocks away from Kennywood. So West Mifflin High School kind of sits at the top of the hill. Then it's like a down slot, 1, 2, and then the park of Kennywood is right there. So I am very, very much so familiar with Kennywood. I actually also just went last Saturday, which is why this is crazy to me. I literally went last Saturday, and it was the first time that I went to Kennywood in like 7 damn years. Do you want to know why? Because in high school, that's all we did. All we did in high school was go to Kennywood. 95% of the people who went to my school worked at Kennywood, okay? So I'm very much so familiar. I know exactly where the shooting was from what they said. It was probably directly in front of the entrance to go into like one of their biggest rides, which is called the Phantom of Revenge. The Musical Express is directly across from there. There's like, just like a little walkway between there, and then you over there, there's some food and some other stuff, okay? Now, like I said, so Kennywood is in West Mifflin, Pennsylvania. West Mifflin is, I would say, maybe like, if we starting from the city of Pittsburgh, like downtown, girl, if there ain't no traffic and you hit the highway, you could probably get there within like 15 minutes. But honestly, also in Pittsburgh, I always say you can get to any part of Pittsburgh within you can get to any part of Pittsburgh, it don't matter where you are, within 15 to 20 minutes. It's a very, very, very small city. It ain't really a whole lot of shit. It's a small city, okay? So let's talk about the reason why I want to talk about the makeup of this crowd is because, let's start off by saying this. West Mifflin is Pittsburgh in general is a very racist ass town. Very, very racist. Yes, they love their Steelers, but it's a very, very racist ass fucking town. Once you leave outside of Oakland, which is like downtown / Oakland, and Oakland is the quote unquote college part of our of Pittsburgh, and that part of town is maybe 10 minutes away from Kennywood. That's probably the most diversity you're going to see, and that's because, like I said, the University of Pittsburgh is there, University of Carnegie Mellon University is there, Carlow University is there, all of the UPMC hospitals, which is the University of Pittsburgh Medical Center, all of those is right there. But once you get outside that little pocket, it's nothing but white people, for real, for real. You move over the next place after Oakland is Squirrel Hill, which is a very high Jewish concentrated neighborhood. It's the same neighborhood where that shooting happened, maybe like last year or the year before, where they shot up that mosque. That's where that community is. Then you move over next and you got Homestead. Homestead is it's a lot of black people over there, but it's a decent amount of white people. Then you move over and it's West Mifflin, right? So all of that to say, everything is pretty damn close to each other. Now, the reason I'm bringing up the demographics of all of this shit is because, like I said, the very racist people, ever since the situation has happened, because obviously, I won't say obviously, but, you know, it's been being said allegedly that it was a black young boy that did this. You know, it's a lot of talk of like, oh, you know, this is why they need to move they need to move Kennywood somewhere else. You have certain people that's always coming and ruin it for the rest of us. The same rhetoric that they've been using forever. Same rhetoric they've been using forever, right? So let's talk about, like I said, the makeup of the crowd within actual Kennywood. Like I said, I've been going there for God knows how long, and I literally was just there last weekend. For the most part, Kennywood is a mixture of what most parks are, right? So some families, you might see a few couples here and there, but more importantly, like the overwhelming majority of people that are there are teenagers of both colors, black and white. And I would like to say Pittsburgh don't really got a whole, it's really a black and white situation. We got a really, really, really small Hispanic community here, but Pittsburgh is mostly black and white for the most part, right? Mostly black and white. There is, like I said, but the majority of the bulk of Kennywood's customers and the people that are there a lot are teenagers. That's what it is. It's mostly teenagers. Yes, there are some families. Yes, you see some couples like me and my boyfriend, but for the most part, it's teenagers because it's an amusement park, okay? Like I said, now this is a combination of both black and white. Mostly white because Pittsburgh is a more heavily white town than it is a black town, right? But whatever. So I also would like to say that Kennywood, which is in West Mifflin. Now, West Mifflin is a suburb. It does sit in between Duquesne, which is a mostly black neighborhood, and then Homestead, like I said, which is a mix of both, but a decent amount of black people is there too. But West Mifflin itself, the place that Kennywood sits in, West Mifflin is a suburb. It is a white ass place. It is very white, very, very, very suburban. Think ideal suburban America. That's what West Mifflin is. It just so happens that West Mifflin sits in between, you know, but y'all know how that go, right? All right. So, sorry, I don't mean to keep rambling, but another thing I want to talk about, because this is all going to wrap up, right? So I want to say that there's a lot of teenagers. So when you have a lot of teenagers, 9 times out of 10, shit is going to start to hit the fan a little bit. Now, I know most people will be like, well, isn't there people to watch? Now, Kennywood, and I'm talking about just recently, in the past 2 years, Kennywood just recently implemented a chaperone rule. The chaperone rule goes like this. If you are under the age of 17, you have to have somebody over the age of 21 accompany you to the park. But that's only past 4 o'clock. So if you are 14, 15, bitch, you could be, because I'm gonna be real. I think the first time I went to Kennywood by myself, I was 14 years old, right? So if you are, hell, you could be probably 12, 13, 14. Yeah, because I definitely have seen middle schoolers there before. So if you are under the age of 17, like I said, you could be 13, you could be 12. It don't matter. If it's before 4 p.m., you can get into the park, no problem. Now, I will also say that they do have metal detectors, right? And this is something that was brought up, I've been seeing online too. Kennywood does have metal detectors. They've been having metal detectors forever. Now, some people are saying that the gun that was used was thrown over the fence. Now, let me tell you how I think that's bullshit. The fence in particular that they're talking about, now obviously there's going to be a fence mostly around the entire park, but where that shooting happened in particular, there is a really, really tall fence that, like, if you was to, like, if somebody, like, had the key, like, they could, like, unlock, like, the lock and the chain and stuff that's there. But that gate, and I know I'm short, but that gate is tall as fuck. I don't know how on God's green earth somebody would have been able to throw a gun over there and nobody noticed. There's no way in hell. No way. Now, could it have been possible that somebody slipped the gun underneath the gate? Yes, because the gate is one of them gates where it's like it's not like rooted into the ground. It's like one of them chain type of fences. It just has like blacked out things over it so people from the outside can't see in. So I could very much see somebody slipping it underneath, but to throw it over, I think is absolutely ridiculous. I don't think that makes any sense. Also, another thing about how the gun could have possibly got in. Like I said, it's mostly teenagers that work there, right? Mostly teenagers. And Pittsburgh is one of those places where it's not 6 degrees of separation. It's 1 degree of separation. I am telling you, if you was to live out here, you would understand everybody knows everybody. And even if you don't know that person, it's only one person between you and whoever that other person is. That's how small Pittsburgh is. Everybody knows everybody. So to think that it's not very much so possible that one of them kids either worked there and planted something or know somebody that worked there and had them get something is ludicrous. It's ludicrous to me. It's very much so possible. It's not, and to be quite honest, yes, Kennywood has metal detectors, but it ain't no damn robust situation. Ain't nobody patting you down. Nobody's going through your stuff. It used to be a situation where, like, when you came through the metal detectors, there used to be a little a long desk where people would like go through your bags and stuff like that. But they don't do that. It's very I will tell you this. It ain't a whole lot of security. It really ain't. It ain't. But also, to be very fair, Kennywood is a very small park. Very small park. Where am I on time? Very, 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 very small park. So I feel like they probably think a lot of times they don't need a lot of security because it's not really, I'm telling you, it's not a big park. It's real small. You can walk from the entrance. If you walk, because Kennywood for real is a big circle. If you start at the entrance and you walk all the way around the exterior and back, you'll probably get back to the front real fast, like less than 10 minutes, I'll say. It's a small park. I'll give you 10 minutes, but it's not that big of a park. So I feel like a lot of it has to do with that. I also want to talk about the culture around Kennywood and when it comes to teenagers and stuff. Okay, so this is the thing. The reason why I said I feel like this is something that was like gonna happen is for a couple reasons. First of all, it's like external reasons. I'm not saying that I know where these kids come from because they said it was like a group of kids that got into it, probably teenage boys that got into it. I'm not trying to say I know where these kids come from, but if they come from anywhere in the surrounding areas, so Duquesne, Homestead, Braddock, Swissville, Edgewood, Wilkinsburg, hell, even if it's within the city of Pittsburgh, so Garfield, Homewood, any one of those places that I'm naming. I'm gonna be real with y'all. Out here in Pittsburgh, there ain't nothing to do. And I don't even just mean for kids. I'm talking about for me as a grown adult. There's not really much to do in Pittsburgh. And maybe I feel like that because I'm originally from New York, but there is not much to do. And as a person who grew up here as a teenager, I'm telling you, there is nothing to do here. You want to know what you can do when you live around these parts? You go to the waterfront. The waterfront it got like a whole bunch of stores and restaurants and movies. So you can either go to the waterfront, walk around. If you have enough money, go to the movies. And Kennywood and Sandcastle. Sandcastle is the water park version of Kennywood, but it's like maybe 10 minutes, but less than 10 minutes down the street or whatever the case may be. But outside of that in Pittsburgh, there is nothing for the youth to do. I have said this, I don't know how many times. There's not much for people to do. You can only go to the waterfront but so many times. You can only go bowling but so many times. That's all that there is to do. The biggest thing for teenagers to do is go to Kennywood. That's why, like I said, as a teenager, I haven't gone to Kennywood. Like I said, last weekend was the first time I went in about 7 to 8 years because as a teenager, that's all we did because there wasn't shit else to do. So you go to Kennywood because it's some shit for you to do. 9 times out of 10, you going to either get food for free or you going to get on a ride. You won't be able to cut the line because you know the people that work there, you know, because all of y'all are friends or whatever the case may be. But I feel like that's a good part of it. There's nothing for these kids to do. There's nothing for them to do. They ain't got no activities. There's nothing. So yes, unfortunately, kids get together, they go to Kennywood and they act the fool. I also want to point this out too. People probably, people don't know this obviously if you don't live around here, but Teenagers in Kennywood have always had a problem. And it ain't just the black ones, it's in general. Because y'all know teenagers don't know how to act. That's just teenagers in general, okay? Around here, there's something that's called school picnics, okay? Now, the school's picnics is the certain school districts, they have specific days that their entire school district goes to Kennywood. So you have this, you know, Penn Hills out here is like probably the biggest picnic because I don't know, everybody loves going to Penn Hills picnic. But it's like you got Penn Hills picnic, then West Mifflin will have a picnic day. Like I said, and that day is for the day for everybody to go to Kennywood. If you live out here, everybody know. Now the picnic days start close towards like spring going into summer. Everybody know you don't go during them days. You don't go during them damn days because it's not but a whole bunch of teenagers there, and they gonna act the fool. There's a McDonald's that is across the street from Kennywood. Do you know how many shootings have happened there? You know how many fights have happened there? Because that parking lot be fucking popping. I'm talking about from I was a teenager to now. In the summertime, that damn McDonald's across the street has had so many problems, so many shootings, so many fights because the kids get out from Kennywood and the closest thing across the street and cheapest thing is a McDonald's. So that's where a lot of stuff happened. So many fights have happened at picnics before. So like this might have been like one of the first times that there was like a shooting. But as far as teenagers fighting and there being some this is not the first time. This might be the 10th, 11th, probably 200th time. But just probably the first time a gun was actually pulled out. So I feel like Kennywood should have been doing their due diligence a long time ago. Like I said, they have that chaperone rule, but that chaperone rule is bullshit. It's bullshit at the end of the day. And the reason why that was supposed to happen is because I just looked up their schedule. So normally I was confused. I'm like, how are kids even able to get in here by themselves? Because normally Fright Night is in the nighttime. It's normally like a 6 to 10 thing or a 5 to 10 thing. But apparently yesterday it was an all day thing. It was like from 12 to 10 or 12 to 11 or whatever, 12 p.m. So that means that those kids that was in there, they was able to get in there without a chaperone. I'm not saying that that you can't let teenagers do anything, but unfortunately, the way shit is set up, I'm telling you right now, all of the malls that are out here in Pittsburgh, if you are a teenager, you cannot get in by yourself. You have to have an adult with you. And I think a lot of them, it's like past 2 o'clock, they will kick all of them kids out. It ain't just, oh, you get in here before 2 so you can stay the rest of the time. No. It'd be like past 3 or 4 o'clock. If a security guard see you in there and you don't have an adult with you, you gotta go. Because unfortunately, a lot of teenagers don't know how to act. But I also feel like that's because y'all gotta give them something to fuck to do. So I feel very bad for this whole situation. I feel bad for the people who got shot. I feel so terrible. But to all of the white ass people that's talking about oh, we need to pick up Kennywood and move it somewhere else. Where are you gonna move it? First of all, we live in America. Do you think anywhere we move this damn park that there's not gonna possibly be a shooting? We live in America, bitch. That's just not possible. It's just another reason, another way for you white people to have some shit to say. But like I said, Kennywood to me should have been doing their due diligence. This was a buildup to me of everything that has happened the past 15, 20 some years. It's always been a problem. And especially around Fright Night, there's always some shit that goes on because it's Fright Night. People are coming out late at night. Teenagers are coming out late at night, bottom fucking selves to this shit. So I feel bad. I do. But I also feel, like I said, that Kennywood should have been doing their due diligence years ago to get this. I don't understand. How did y'all just implement a chaperone rule a year and a half ago when Kennywood is notorious for having fights break out there and fights break out across the street and fights happening in the parking lot and people going to Kennywood on purpose to see they off and to fight them? That is nothing new. That been a thing. When I was in high school, Kennywood is the place where niggas met up to get it popping. Period. Oh, Penn Hills and shit today? Bet we pulling up. We pulling up. That's not a new thing. I'm out of here, y'all. Y'all tell me what y'all think. Bye.